Hello and welcome to the Bonsai Garden. I'm a huge book nerd and love to read and absorb as much information on any subject that interests me, and that's why I've got such a large collection of bonsai themed books. But which 5 books would I recommend for anyone new to the hobby of bonsai? Keep watching and see my 5 recommendations. If you're interested in bonsai and want to get started as a beginner, there are a wealth of informative books available that can guide you through the basics and help you develop your skills. What qualifies a book for beginners or people new to bonsai? Well, to make this list, a bonsai book for beginners should typically have several of the following characteristics. Introduction to bonsai. It provides a clear and concise introduction to the art of bonsai, explaining its history, philosophy and basic principles. It helps beginners to understand the essence and purpose of bonsai. Basic techniques. It covers fundamental techniques essential for bonsai care and cultivation, such as pruning, wiring, shaping and repotting. The book should explain these techniques in a beginner-friendly manner with step-by-step instructions and illustrations. Tree selection. It offers guidance on selecting suitable tree species for bonsai, taking into consideration factors like climate, available space, and the beginner's level of expertise. The book may include profiles of popular bonsai trees, highlighting their characteristics and care requirements. Care instructions. It provides detailed information on caring for bonsai, including watering, fertilizing, pest and disease management, and seasonal maintenance. The book should offer practical tips and guidance for beginners to keep their bonsai healthy and thriving. Styling and design. While a beginner's book may not delve into advanced styling techniques, it should at least introduce basic concepts of bonsai design, including trunk and branch placement, foliage pruning, and creating a harmonious overall appearance. Troubleshooting. It addresses common problems and challenges that beginners may encounter with their bonsai, along with practical solutions and troubleshooting tips. This section can help beginners identify and address issues to ensure the well-being of their trees. Inspiring examples. The book may showcase a variety of bonsai styles and examples, providing visual inspiration and demonstrating the potential artistic expressions that can be achieved with bonsai. A glossary and reference material. It includes a glossary of bonsai terms and relevant reference material such as lists of recommended tools, resources for further learning, and additional reading suggestions. A bonsai book for beginners then should be approachable, informative and easy to understand, providing a solid foundation of knowledge and practical guidance to help beginners begin their bonsai journey with confidence. Here then are my top 5 recommendations for bonsai books for beginners. This is almost certainly the slimmest and most inexpensive book on my list, but it's a great little visual compendium of bonsai. It weighs in at only 72 pages, but it's got some great illustrations in there. Covers all the basics in a sort of whistle-stop fashion. And for anybody who's interested in just touching on the basics of bonsai, it covers everything fairly quickly and in a superficial way in there. Being a Dorling Kindersley book, it's very visual in its presentation and appearance. The next suggestion on my list is a bit more wordy. Bonsai Basics, a comprehensive guide to care and cultivation by Colin Lewis. This book provides a solid introduction to bonsai, covering topics such as choosing suitable tree species, shaping and pruning techniques, watering and fertilizing, and overall care and maintenance. This Bonsai Basics by Colin Lewis is another great book that was suggested and recommended by a couple of people when I canvassed them for suggestions, and it's the book that I gave away as part of my 1,000 subscriber giveaway. And it's a nice little book, and you can see it covers all the basics. So what is bonsai, buying a bonsai, how a tree works, light and water, the details of keeping a tree in a pot, how to look after it, and a bit of a tree directory at the end. It's a bit more wordy and got some more in-depth text content than the previous book, but it covers all the basics quite nicely and is a great little introduction to the subject. And to me, this is definitely a worthy item adding to the list. The Bonsai Bible, the definitive guide to choosing and growing bonsai by Peter Chan. This small but comprehensive guide covers all aspects of bonsai care, including choosing appropriate species, styling, wiring, shaping, and advanced techniques like grafting. It also provides practical advice on caring for bonsai indoors and outdoors. Peter Chan might be considered something of a Marmite character in the bonsai community, but I've got a lot of love and respect for the guy. He's someone whose videos introduced me to the subject of bonsai, and he's responsible for publishing a number of books on the subject. And I've chosen this one, the Bonsai Beginner's Bible, as a book for my list of 5 recommendations for beginners. And you can see, although it's quite a diminutive book, it has quite some substance, and there are over 300 pages there. It's the usual thing. It covers all the history of bonsai, what a bonsai tree is, selecting material, and how to care for your trees, all the usual wiring, repotting, environmental factors, and then there's quite a substantial catalogue of different species of trees, indoor and outdoor, and their correct bonsai care. And for the price, I think this is a nice little book. Before I continue and show you my possibly controversial top 2 picks, I just need for you to hit the like button, to share the love, and possibly consider subscribing to be notified of future videos. Now let's get to those top 2 recommendations. The Complete Book of Bonsai, A Practical Guide to Its Art and Cultivation by Harry Tomlinson. Considered classic in the field, this book offers a comprehensive overview of bonsai artistry and horticulture. It covers everything from history and styles to practical techniques and care instructions. This book is very popular and highly regarded amongst the bonsai community, and it's easy to see why. It's a large format book and it's very visual in its presentation. It's got some fantastic illustrations in here and covers all the basics. And it's got a number of worked examples in there as well as covering all the usuals of wiring, tree selection, propagation. It's also got a compendium of trees and shrubs at the end, which gives you a bit of detail about which trees are best suited for bonsai and a little bit of information about their cultivation and care. Now, I believe this book has been printed a number of times, and so you'll likely find it with a different cover to this one. I don't think it's currently in print, but it is available on Amazon and on eBay, and also I believe that you can get hold of copies of this book from Greenwood Bonsai. This book was a very popular choice when I canvassed other people for their suggestions for the #1 book for beginners, and I'm sure a lot of people will be shocked and surprised. So let's see which book I chose as my #1 pick. The book that I've selected as my #1 spot, Bonsai by Dorling Kindersley. Publishers Dorling Kindersley seem to have taken all the best spots on my list, and for good reason. They produce very visual, educational and reference books, and the book that I've selected as my #1 spot, Bonsai by Dorling Kindersley, it's a great example. And it covers everything that you would expect in a beginner book, from bonsai basics to selecting particular trees, It's got a number of nice worked examples that go step by step, which is what I particularly like about this book and why I recommend it as my #1 pick. It's got a lot of similarities to the Harry Tomlinson book in that it's a very visual Dorling Kindersley book. It has that sort of visual layout, great reference material. But for me, what won it out was the nice worked examples. It's a fairly inexpensive book. It's available on Amazon for about £15–16, and I think it's an absolute bargain and a must-have for anybody who's new to the hobby and looking to develop their skills a little further. The book ends with a nice plant care directory, giving quite a lot of detail about the care of each individual species of tree, from watering, fertilisation, plant placement, and details of any pests or diseases that those trees might suffer. Definitely a worthy item to add to your collection. All of these books cover the basics and are relatively inexpensive and accessible for anyone new to the hobby. This should provide you with a solid foundation in bonsai and help you get started on your bonsai journey. Remember that practice and patience are key when it comes to bonsai, as it's an art form that requires ongoing care and dedication. So what did you make of my list, and which books would you include on there? Please leave a comment below and let us know what you think. I hope you found that useful or interesting. If so, then please hit the like button and subscribe for future videos. And if you're interested in learning the secrets of how to grow great bonsai, or if you'd like to learn more about Japanese maple for bonsai, then check out the video links at the end of this video. Thank you.